What's up, developers out there? Stefan here with another Mike Carey coding challenge. This is one he saw on HackerRank, I believe. And the problem is, write a script that accepts a string and turns it into a palindrome in the minimum amount of moves. Each move involves changing one letter to the letter one position nearer to the start of the alphabet. Example, AXC requires 2 moves. Change C to B, then C, or then B to A. ABQD requires 4 moves. D to C to B to A, which that's 3 moves, I guess, and then Q to P. Your function should return an integer, being the number of letter changes required. I have some ideas on how to do this. Some are some coding tricks. Some are knowledge of 2-pointers and Unicode and absolute value functions that are all built into Python. Some is just the knowledge that to go from C to A, you take C, which is the 3rd character, and you have A, which is the 1st character, and you subtract those from each other, which is 3 minus 1 equals 2. And you can use the Unicode values for that because they're the exact same distance apart. Since I am doing Unicode, I'm going to assume that my input string is always in lowercase. Otherwise, you would call a toLower function, and that would take an extra on time. This is still going to be linear anyways. It's actually going to be slightly better than linear. It might be O log n. I think so. Yep. The lookups for the Unicode values should be constant time, since that is a built-in lookup to the internal Python hash table of characters to Unicode. And we're going to go ahead and code this up as an algorithm now that we've stated our assumptions. We've validated our inputs. We're also going to assume that there's always an input. If there's 1 character, we would only return 0 because it is a palindrome already. I guess we need to care if it's already a palindrome, then we'll just be adding zeros to the sum and we should output 0 anyways. If the string is null, we probably just return null. But we're going to assume that we're always getting a string. So we're not going to do that check. We're just going to do is string, no. Get num moves to palindrome. I've seen variations of this problem on LeetCode where you do like swaps. That's a little more interesting per se, given that it's like heavier math based. This you can code up pretty quickly with some computer science principles of Unicode and absolute numbers and things like that. It's not too tricky. It's pretty straightforward math, and we'll show what that looks like. So input string. We could use typing. You can do something like this to clarify that it's a string. We can do something like this to clarify that we're returning an int. Python isn't going to get mad if those actually aren't strings or ints, but it at least lets a developer know that that's what it should be. And when you are using the IntelliSense that's built into your IDE, whether that's PyCharm or Visual Code, it'll tell you that it expects a string. So that's one good thing about typing hints. I don't actually do them enough, but that's there. You can use those. Those are fun. So we're going to need a couple counters, num moves. We want to be super conscious of our variable names. Obviously, this is a toy example, but in an enterprise code, if you have multiple devs working on it, it helps to have good naming structures and readable, maintainable code, all that fun stuff. We're going to have a left pointer. We're going to initialize that to 0. We're going to have a right pointer. We're going to initialize that to length of input string -1, since arrays are 0 indexed and the input string is just a character array, an immutable character array. Important to remember that it's immutable. So you can't actually do input string 2 equals A and reassign characters like that. You actually need to do that with either like the string replace method or make a new string and copy things over and all that fun stuff. But that's not the problem, so we don't really care about that. All right, we're going to use a while loop here. This is basically just a simple two-pointer algorithm. While our left pointer is smaller than our right pointer, we're going to do stuff. And what are we going to do? We're going to do num moves plus equals the absolute value of the ordinal, which is the character, to Unicode. So the input string at our left pointer array in Unicode minus the ordinal of input string at our right pointer. And this 0 index, obviously wrong. So we want this to be left pointer. This should be all we need to do. We have an absolute value, we have ordinal, we're using our knowledge of Unicode to calculate the number of swaps. This will automatically traverse towards the center of the array. So it'll take the first and the last, and then it'll go in, it'll go in, it'll go in, it'll compare those. It'll find out how many times we would need to actually swap one of those to turn it into a palindrome. So pretty sure that's all we need to do. And then we just return num moves. Now, let's take some of our input strings, call the function, verify that it is what's expected. Print get num moves to palindrome. We're going to use our IntelliSense here. I don't know where that extra T came from. I don't know if I misprinted something or not. And first test case, AXC. Actually, you know what? We can even do this kind of like a unit test because it shows you guys some other cool things. Num moves equals get num moves and assert num moves equals 3. Which will throw an exception in your code. You can also do like a raise or if num moves not equal to 3, raise value error. Again, I don't know why I'm doing this because it's fun. Value error. This is not right. But that's okay because we shouldn't hit this raise value error. We shouldn't hit this num moves because this algorithm should do everything that we want it to do. And then we're even going to print num moves at the end, and then I'm going to put in a different test case for y'all and show you that those raises and those asserts, which asserts are heavily used in PyTest, unit test. What's the other test framework? Can't think of it right now. Anyways, that's not that important. Can I clear? Okay, clear does work. And then I forgot what my Python is called. Can't remember if it's Python or Python 3. Okay, it's just Python. And I made a new folder called the Python group, and we got palindromes. Running, and I forgot to increment my pointers. Y'all were probably like, Stefan, move your pointers. So the left pointer will go up 1, the right pointer will go down 1, and now we're not constantly running all the time. Sorry, I get distracted sometimes. Oh, this is not right. All right, so it looks like my algorithm is actually slightly off, guys. And I guess I should have printed this beforehand. But in this example, this should be something like 93 minus 91. I forgot what the actual Unicode values of these are. But let's run this and see what it is. 2. Oh, it is 2. I'm silly because C only needs to, yep. It's been a long day, guys. Some guy stole a bunch of money from my mom. I had some difficulty at work, but you know, we're just trying to deal with it and then make a quick coding video to keep the skills sharp and maybe educate at the same time if any of you guys are interested in this stuff. But yeah, this should be 2 for the case of AXC. And this also showed that the value error worked. So I'm going to show you how the assert works. So since we fixed num moves is not equal to 2, as in the case if we were doing like AXC as our test case, so there you see we get the assertion error and our case test case would fail. But anyways, that's not that important. We'll get rid of that. And then we'll do this for APQD, which requires 4 moves. And run this, and we see that the output is 4. So our algorithm is working. The 2-pointer solution, we're incrementing things correctly. We're actually knowing that AXC is 2 and not 3. This automatically got imported because I typed in value instead of value error. But that's it. I think that'll be it. Thanks for watching along, and fun coding example. Keep them coming, Mike. See you guys. Bye.